Hello guys and welcome back to Tyranny. Hope you're all doing good. I am. Had a busy day. A little bit of a stressful day. But we're all good and I'm excited to play more Tyranny and figure out what the hell we're gonna do with the Spire and everything that happened last time. Alright, so let's just spend spend our points first, or our attributes, I should say, and then our talents. And then find out whatever the Spire button is. And then we'll see when we can get out and if we can go to that other Spire. I'm just wondering if we should go with some quickness to get faster spells. I mean, ultimately, well, I mean, 3% by itself doesn't do that much. But, you know, if it's 20% after a couple of points, that suddenly is a big deal. Because that means we can suddenly just get to that point where we can just chain cast spells. Then again, we know that there is actually a talent. Yeah, don't save. There is a talent which gives us even more. Yeah, this was a used ability. Where was the... Two arms... Yeah, grants additional spell slots to everyone in the party. Ultimately, I think then at that point we can pretty much just chain cast, right? Just create different spells and use them that way. Okay, so I'm just thinking how big is 5 meter radius is decent, but it's still pretty melee. So you can cast it on someone. Generate an aura of will that removes a harmful effect from you and each ally. Okay, that's great. So that means every one of us... Yeah, okay, that's just great. That's if you are facing several... I wonder if that also includes like prone effects, for example. I think I need to take that. That just sounds too powerful, right? And I guess we just go for more damage, actually. Okay, excellent. Then the reputation, I'm not sure what it was highlighted. I guess Scarlet Chorus was highlighted. Because now we have this ability, but I think we've had that for a while. Okay, so the Spire. Oh, we can get recruits. Okay. Werewolves will also create camping supplies periodically. Okay, that's cool. So what about the mysterious device? Perched atop the mountain spire in Vendrian's Well is the product of a forgotten age. It is unclear what function it once had or if it can be used again. Well, I think it can. So there's going to be 5 spires. We know of one location. Smith who regularly produces weapons. Might be useful. And a Fatebinder who we absolutely cannot afford. An old beast woman who regularly provides food to take into battle. Well, I think first of all, many unique items. So either we can take this. But a motley collection of items. I guess we have to go for that first. I'm not sure. Do we just want to go for unique items? I feel also like Tanara is going to be good for verse. And he just regularly produces weapons. And it's like, but is it like... Are they going to be like high quality and he produces weapons? Does it mean we have to provide him resources? Like, it doesn't explain anything about what this actually is. An edict. One edict. No active edict. Edict of Storms. Edict of Stone. When the Archon Cairn rebelled against the Overlord's rule, an edict was proclaimed upon the realm of Azure. To preserve our peace, the promise of safety to our citizens, all Archons must submit to our will. Any Archon who refuses proper submission must be brought to justice. Therefore, let the foundations of Azure be shattered and life drained from the land, while the traitor Cairn draws breath. Okay. So I guess I'm not sure which one is better too. I guess let's just regularly produce his weapons. I don't know. Let's go for that. Because I don't really so far care about the food, but produces weapons. Next time you travel to the mysterious device. Okay. Well, let us see. Let's do a quick save. Excellent. Doesn't respond to your touch. That's fine. I guess let's go down to the hall. Are we sure we want to instantly teleport? Well, yes. I also wonder where these recruits go. Do they go into this hall? I think so. I think that makes sense. It's like a gathering point. Or maybe not. So can we step on this? No problems with that? Excellent. Okay. Just seeing, go to the Citadel. Instantly to Vendrian's Well Citadel. Sure, let's just teleport instead. That sounds good. Wouldn't there still be traps laying around from the battle? I guess not. Oh yeah, we do have a bunch of these gems that we found before. Well, I guess for now we'll just open this. And I guess for now the recruit won't show up. What's this? Tier Forged Bronze Great Spear. Okay. Well, I don't use two-handed weapons, so... So why is this all, like, uncovered? I mean, we were here. I guess it's seen as a new map, somehow? A hat with... No, I didn't mean to... This one. Bronze Tower Shield. So let's give that to him, because if anyone can use it... So it's a superior shield, very slow, very good parry. Well, apparently his current shield is very good for dodging, actually. But he does get more endurance out of it. So all in all, I guess it's just better, it's just slow. So this is a faster one, which gives us more dodge, less parry. Again, I'm not sure how the recovery works. Is it just... I really need to... I know I said it before, but I need to read up on how the recovery system works. Character recovery. Base recovery time, 1 second. Weapon, 1.25. Ranged, 0.5. What about magic? I think it doesn't matter for magic. That's what I assume so far. It doesn't seem to matter at all. In which case, is this really better? No, then it's not. Well, I guess we walk over there to loot it again. So I feel we did exactly that before. Ending Kairos' Edict on Venderings well filled you with a great deal of power. This will undoubtedly prove useful as you travel through the tiers. You should investigate the origins of this power and find ways to acquire more. A new bar in your character sheet displays your current level of power. Press C to open to your character sheet and view your current level of power. What new bar? I don't see a new bar. I guess this. I was wondering what this was, this power that we saw on the Spire screen. That's where we saw it. You've acquired your first Spire. Oh, we found this one thing, and then the tooltip says, you've acquired your first one. Okay, well that's a little gamey, I guess, but this Spire will be your home base as you adventure through the lands of Kairos' tiers. Your Spires give you a free location to rest and recover from your travels. As you acquire more Spires, you will discover additional functionality, like teleporting between them. Or press H for home base. Okay, sure. And the last tooltip, dismissed companions. Once a character has been dismissed from the party, they will return to either their war camp or the Spire if you've unlocked it. Well, I think when you get this companion, you have a Spire, so... Oh, come on, you two also, get over there. Okay, so I think we can't go here. So either we can go meet Tunon or we go to the Sunset Spire. And I'm just currently interested in the Spire. I mean, I know, you know, our big boss summoned us, but I'm curious about the Spire. So let's go to Lethian's Crossing. Built in the shadow of the Old Walls Junction in the realm of Haven, Lethian's Crossing is a growing trading settlement. The nearby rivers are rich in iron ore, though the locals lack the technology to smelt and forge the element. In the years following Kairos' conquest of the tiers, the population of Lethian's Crossing swelled with refugees fleeing the destruction of their homeland. The presence of the forge-bound mining the iron, along with their guards, makes this makeshift settlement a vital resource for Kairos' armies. In the year 429, as governor of Lethian's Crossing in Kairos' name, you granted control of the settlement to the Scarlet Chorus. Yep. It'll take a day. Well, that's fine, I guess. A group of mercenaries, members of the Bronze Brotherhood, are blocking the road to Lethian's Crossing. There was a other reference at some point to the Bronze Brotherhood. I guess we start sneaking. Wonder if they will just start talking first to try and take money from us. Well, this one is called a raider. It's probably not a good start, is it? Aster, Will. Well, they're named. That's something. And up here is a raider and a bruiser, raider, and Welby. I somehow expected that to also be a bruiser. I can really just walk up to them. A tall woman stands here, surveying the area from the small overlook. She glances at you and immediately goes back to watching her surroundings. Welcome to Iron Trail, Fatebinder of Tunon. She salutes you. My name is Welby, first axe of the Bronze Brotherhood, though I'm not sure that title matters anymore. She pauses to gather her thoughts, then opens her mouth to continue instead. Instead, she exhales slowly and shakes her head. Never mind, you needn't be burdened with my problems. While I appreciate you coming to me before speaking to Retomon, you will need to be careful. He has, of late, been acting out of sorts, and any perceived slight can become a problem for the one who offends him. Choose your words with him carefully. Okay. What does it mean to be first axe? She sighs. I wish I knew a Fatebinder. The first axe protects and consults with the first brother. I am supposed to be Retomon's advisor, confidant, and guard. Lately, his behavior has become erratic. He's acting paranoid, manic, and distrustful. My duty as First Axe is to protect the First Brother, but I'm also sworn to protect the Brotherhood, and if that means the removal of Retamon, so be it. He has too many supporters in Lethian Crossing right now to speak out against him. Okay, sure. What do you think has happened to Retamon? Honestly, I couldn't speak to the cause. The stress of leadership, the battles with Kairos' forces, his night in the Old Walls, she shrugs. When you decided to remove the Brotherhood from the crossing, it certainly set him off. Does it matter? His behavior is endangering the Brotherhood, and he must be stopped before we are destroyed. I fear people will be hurt by far more than a simple toll. How would you run the Brotherhood? I guess it sounds like we'll be positioning someone to take over and removing Retamon. I wouldn't waste time and resources on petty vendettas, that much I can tell you. I like battle and I like rings, and with the Brotherhood we used to get both regularly. Now all we have is fear, suspicion, and blood. I want a disciplined regiment back, and I intend to have it. Okay. While I may agree that we were treated unjustly, Retamon's methods for obtaining restitution are despicable. Okay, well, we don't know what he's done. But still, I guess let's agree. True, acting like a child when you don't get what you want is not the behavior of a leader. Let me ask you something else. How could talking to you offend Retamon? Because you chose to speak to the First Axe before speaking to the actual First Brother, the bodyguard before the leader. How could this mean anything but collusion and treason? I know I speak out of turn, but I only wish to warn you. Tread lightly. Well, that's all for now. By your leave, Fatebinder, and be careful. Well, that was all very pleasant. Welby is okay. A bronze dagger. And a new accent. Excellent. Let's learn it. Cyclical energies. What's the hotkey for spell creation? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Sigil of Frost. And then we want range, the Great Rhyme Spike. So what does... Aha, it just reduces the cooldown time. Speaking sometimes is a little difficult. So this would increase the frozen duration. This just the range. So we have 79 now, so we can actually do that. Do we want to update it for 8 meter or 2 meters of range, or reduce the cooldown? I think we reduce the cooldown because it's also our highest damaging spell. So what? Yeah, just flat out awesome. Let's do that on everything. Electric Jolt. I mean, the 2 meter difference from 8 to 10 is nice, but I feel being able to cast your spells more often is just more powerful. Yeah, that becomes 85. So let's cast more often and more powerful. So what does it do on a buff? So it reduces it by 12 seconds. Pretty good. Pretty good. And yeah, we can't quite do Sigil of Strength. Or you can just make it last longer. I guess let's do that for now. Can she cast anything stronger at this point? No, that would be... She actually got a lot of lore skill at this point. It's funny how she also basically turned into a mage now. I guess more often? I guess that that will do. This is already a 35. Can't quite do that, but I guess stronger is better for Searing Palm. I guess he can actually cast a stronger Searing Palm. And I think all of these accents are all like at least 10. So there's going to be nothing that he can do in this combination. Unless we like change it. But I think we like Rhyme Spike because of the base high damage. Well, he already has Rhyme Spike in this configuration, so no need to assign. Yeah, we can't modify these spells. I think he also gets the faster speed. Or, you know, less cooldown on his abilities. Because I think that's better than being able to, you know, cast it from 2 meters further. Okay, excellent.
On it.
Love the magic system. It's truly, like, fun. Aster. A small figure stands before some armor-clad soldiers. His arms move wildly as he gestures in frustration, yelling at the man directly in front of him. Absolutely not. I've come through Ironhall Trail more times than I can remember. No one ever asked for a toll before, and I won't be paying one now. He notices you standing nearby and turns to speak. Everybody just knows us. Everybody knows our face and everything. Everybody seems to recognize us. It's surprising. Fatebinder, surely you, of all people, can help me. My name is Aster, and I must get to Lethian's Crossing. I have goods to deliver. Tell this man I will not be paying a toll, to him or anyone, and he is to let me through. He folds his arms over his chest and nods with a pronounced finality. Greetings, Fatebinder. I'm sorry you have been drawn into this. What you've stumbled into here is merely a conflict of the changing times. I'm Will of the Bronze Brotherhood. Ironhall Trail is under our protection, and anyone passing through must obey our rules. If this gentleman would like passage through our land, a simple donation is required. He holds out his hand. These funds help our cause and keep Ironhall a safe place for all travelers. Clearly you both can see the value in that. Aster speaks, his arms swinging about again, emphasizing his words. And who exactly is keeping it safe? You, standing there with your weapons at the ready against me? His arms drop and he turns to you again. So it's a 50 ring toll. It seems, you know, quite a bit. I'm also just wondering how the reputation system is going to work with, well, all of these are Lethian Crossing, but with the Bronze Brotherhood, because I just get the feeling that we're going to depose the leader. So if we gain reputation with the faction, does that go away once we depose of the leader? Like, I don't know how that's going to work, but I guess we'll see. Aster speaks, his arms swinging about again, emphasizing his words. And that's what I already read. I'm not but a traveling merchant. I have no money to spare, and I certainly pose no threat to anyone. Keep this area safe, indeed. He points at Will. You are the only threat here. Fatebinder, please, talk some sense into this man. Address Will. This man will not be paying a toll today. Call your goats off and allow his passage immediately. Which would actually gain us favor with Lethian's Crossing, which I guess is fine. Yeah, let's go with that. Thank you, Fatebinder. You have done a great deal of good today. And you, Brute, move aside and let me pass. I'm like, why are we just assuming that he's going to step aside? Will holds his position and gives you a meaningful look. Perhaps you want to reconsider your stance on the matter, Fatebinder. He plants his hammer on the ground and leans on it, staring Aster down. Passage is bought with rings or blood, but I'll happily take both. Really? You want to take all 4 of us? And these raiders, I guess? No, I will not be blackmailed. I stand by my decision. Aster raises his hands in protest. I thank you for your efforts, Fatebinder, but it's not worth bloodshed. I will leave in peace. Well, now he walked away, so if we paid, he could have made his delivery of whatever it is to take into account. Maybe this matters, maybe it doesn't. Will returns to his position and looks you over, his former genial mood gone. So, a Fatebinder in our little corner of the world. Who would have ever thought this would happen? He spits between his feet and crushes it into the dirt with his boot. You're walking a dangerous line, Fatebinder. The Bronze Brotherhood will never back down from threats. He pauses for a moment, sizing you up. Normally, I'd knock you down where you stand for threatening me, but Retamon demanded to see you if you came through here. I thought he was crazy saying you'd be visiting Lethian's Crossing. Looks like I owe him a few rings. He shakes the pouch around his neck, making the rings inside jingle melodically. Not that there's any shortage of those here. What can this humble servant of the Brotherhood do for you, Fatebinder? And don't ask me to let you through, because that isn't happening. So verse says, someone made the mistake of giving this little man too much power, and he's about to discover what happens when you stand in my way. If you think you can get him to move, do it. No, oh sure, let's give her some fun. With pleasure. Hey shitmeat, do you plan on moving your ass this century, or do we have to stand here jawing like a bunch of greybeards? We're on a mission, and staring at your ugly mug and catching up on the past won't get it done any faster. Are you going to move on, or do you need to start cutting? Because I'm partial to either option. The mercenary's mouth hangs open in disbelief. He swallows and attempts to gather his pride. I would help you, but my boss told me to guard this bridge. No one gets by with Retamon's permission. Kairos, give me strength. You deserve this far more than I'm going to enjoy it. Verse swings her fist and lands a punch with a meaty whack, snapping back the mercenary's head. Will rubs his cheek. Hold on, I'm just doing my job. I apologize if I offended. Retamon will have my head if I let you through. There's nothing I can do about it. And we just want to pass. Oh, well, I was wondering who came running up. Well, you're talking to Will, talking. I'm not sure I call it talking at that point. Kind of punching the guy, but... you're talking to Will, a striking man with a shock of bright blonde hair approaches, moving away with some men searching bodies of slain soldiers to the south. He watches you intently as he closes, his angular features pulling into a look of disdain. And here's the Fatebinder. He doesn't mask the displeasure in his voice. I knew we'd see you, I was just wondering when. One trip to the Lethian Crossing wasn't enough. Yeah, because we let them stay, right? He doesn't even mask the contempt in his voice. You had to return where no one asked you to come. Throwing me out of my home wasn't sufficient? Are you here to disrupt my life some more? He looks at his men, who stopped to watch the conversation. You aren't done. He flicks his hand at them, and they return to their searching. It doesn't really matter why you're here. I don't care. I have more important things to worry about. In case you've forgotten me already, my name is Retamon. I'm First Brother, leader of the Bronze Brotherhood. But I'm sure you already know that. I couldn't help but see you over here talking to Will and the traveling merchant. Only here for a moment and already sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, aren't you? Well, kinda. We just wanted to walk and pass, and you stopped us. So, you know... I don't appreciate others invading my territory, Fatebinder. I told him he had to speak to you, Retamon. He wanted through, but I told him no, and if you don't give me the signal... The Fatebinder isn't getting into Lathian's Crossing. No one will invade our territory. Retamon stares at Will for a few moments, lips pursed, and then continues as if Will never spoke. Speaking of which, what did Welby have to say? He looks north where Welby stands, watching you both intently. Has she already started filling your mind with lies about me? She and I are going to have a chat soon. I can't have my first axe countermanding me at every turn. I know she wants my position. He sounds very paranoid. Watch yourself while you're a guest in my land. If you have come to stir up more trouble, we are well equipped and will not back down in defense of what is rightfully ours. He sweeps his arm in front of him, gesturing to the surrounding countryside. Welby and I might not always agree, but that is one point we see eye to eye on. If you step out of line, we will both correct you. His eyes narrow and he leans towards you. You are not welcome here. Now tell me what you want or leave. Well, I just wanted to go. Tell me about Welby. Well, I'm not sure we actually should be saying why we are passing by. I need to get to Lethian's Crossing, yeah. Because that's where the spire is, right? You would do well to watch your tone when speaking to a Fatebinder. Let's start with that. I'm not welcome in your land. This is not your land anymore. Also excellent. Yeah, let's go with that. Such arrogance is the precursor to a mighty fall, Fatebinder. I might not currently have control of Lethian's Crossing, but we... okay. But we both know possessions are fleeting. Lethian Crossing is my home, and your imagined control over our lives doesn't change that fact. Oh, what a little piss stain, this guy. Well, I need to get to Lethian Crossing. Kind of just want to attack this guy. If he is, you know, the brute trying to exert control, you know, yeah, what's your tone for now? Retamon laughs hollowly. I care not about Kairos' forces. I've already reaped the rewards of my loyalty and will not make that mistake again. You've taken my home, but I will have it back. I won't cower when you raise your voice against me, lapdog. Well, if you're looking for trouble, here it is. Like, I just want to remove this guy and move on. That's all I want to do. He's getting in our way, so just... like, he's clearly going to be annoying if we pass through or we give him money to let us pass or anything. He doesn't trust us, he hates us, and he wants to use his raiders to control the town and extort people. Clearly not good. Well, if you're looking for trouble, here it is. Well, let's first try and get some information out of him, just in case. So why are you charging travelers a toll to get through Ironhall Trail? I don't see how the affairs of the Brotherhood are your business, Fatebinder. Suffice it to say, the funds we receive from our tolls help us keep the lands around Lethian Crossing safe. Uh-huh. Sure. Well, I need to get to Lethian's Crossing. Retamon considers your request for a moment. If I let you through, you must promise to behave. I have enough problems dealing with everyone else. I don't need the hassle of keeping an eye on you too. So watch yourself. I may not currently have control of my city, but I have eyes everywhere. If you stir up trouble, I will know. Well, if you're looking for trouble, here it is. I just want to remove you. I can't imagine that this guy is like the good guy you want around. I knew you couldn't be trusted. And Lethian's Crossing is now unlocked on the map. The force of Kairos will always show their true face if pushed. Retamon retreats, calling to his men as he runs. Guards, we have a snake in our midst. To arms. Okay, well, if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. Just don't let us fight Welby. Welby seemed okay. So we've got this... Oh, so now he just turned into a raider, not Will. Okay. No, that's Will. I somehow confused Barrick with Will. Whoops. Okay, so you cast that. We should cast our buff on Verse. Barrack should just, I guess, keep, tank versus tank. Well, actually, how about you just taunt both? That seems better. And then Verse may, guess, try and freeze him.
Are you afraid of?
So both are taunted to Barrack. That is good. Titan's Touch. Let's increase her. Can we get our menu? No? Well, that's a little big. What button did I press that this does not want to stay? Would be good to have. Okay, there's the button. Cool. All set up now. So Barrack, you have your double attacks. I guess we can use a false pit against that raider. I like how this bruiser is just standing. I mean, why not? So Verse is done.
I'm on it.
I guess you can also try to false pit this guy.
Squirrel bastard.
So Verse interrupted him and did 13 damage. Not that much. So how about Death from Above? Launch Verse into the air, allowing her to unleash a series of well-aimed arrows, which are armor piercing. So it does 16 to 21 pierce. And extra armor penetration 8, which is actually really good versus Will.
Aren't you?
Do we want to heal him already? Probably.
Consider it done.
I'm just watching the animation between Verse and Eterna. Okay, that's a lot of damage. 23, 23, 25. Excellent. Does he really not have more abilities? I guess not. Well, I guess, he's still doing 2 times attack, so let's keep doing that. So I guess we should also just zap the raider, because he seems to be... Well, actually... Don't stab. You have better things to do. Lantry, you do. Do we want to also use Blood-Soaked Stone?
Are we ready for this?
Barrack does so much damage with his double attacks of 17, 18. That's but he's also taking a lot of damage, to be fair. Both are near death. I guess let's try and burn both down as fast as we can. He has a heal skill.
You got it.
Come on, don't do it. Will this do additional damage? I always forget. No, it's just normal damage.
I'll
Excellent. Actually, much more tough than I thought. They were actually pretty tough. So let's wait for the health regen to fill Barrack back up. I'm curious who they were fighting. Ah. I was thinking of starting with the arrow attack again, but I guess not.
Let's have
I guess you both just kind of run in. How about you buff Barrack, considering he's a powerhouse?
it then.
Yeah, he's having a bad day. Okay, let's use False Pit. Could I try and taunt bolt to trigger double attacks? No, we should not just be doing that. We should
On
be
it.
using skills.
As you command.
I guess he should always, in such cases, be... Because these are almost dead, basically. So he should just be casting. Just to get the experience for it. You just keep attacking.
You got it.
Or using magic. Let's throw a fireball and another one. Just finish him now. I'm sorry, what? Rive the Marrow. For 66. That's a lot of damage. Let's go Plink. Someone. Thank you. Yeah, Barrack is, you know, despite being very highly armored and heavily armored, taking a lot of damage.
Slow and steady.
What if we just walk over here? You guys just kind of walk over here. Anything to be found? Not really. I wonder if now we have aggroed Welby. I think so. Because Welby will agree. No, Welby is not here. No, Welby is not here.
You got it.
I guess you run in first.
Send me your champion.
I don't know. I like these abilities. Like him swinging this big hammer around. I don't know. It's just very cool to me. How about you
As you command.
buff Barrack? And 78. Yeah, I guess all of these guys is with maces. Dodge is better against that. Well, I guess you get to taunt. Cool. You taunted. And you will also drink up. And you will heal.
Consider it done.
And you will, I guess, Rhyme Spike the low health one.
On it.
Does he still have double attacks? No, he doesn't. Oh, he never taunted. Yeah, that's right. I guess you just taunt them just to get the double attack. Okay, then let's focus the bruiser. Let's interrupt, because I feel interrupts are very important. And after that, how about you move?
I got it.
Because we have some issues with range. I didn't realize this stone was actually blocking Lantry. There's some real good screaming happening right there. I guess you also use magic. Yeah, so what I've learned, I need to pay attention to guys with big hammers, because they will screw you over. Bruiser near death. Yeah, they just do so much damage. All 55.
You got it.
Sorry, I can't.
I guess there was some weird pathing issue around here. Because both of our mages, or casters, had problems there. But we survived. Surviving is good. So, let's see. I guess there will be more. What's this? Oh, just more stags. Wonder what happens if you like shoot one. Can you even? Doesn't seem like it lets you. No, it doesn't.
No dice.
No
Right.
dice? Okay. So I guess this was just on the way. Nothing else here? Probably not. No, not really. Okay, well, that was one thing. So let's go to Sunset Spire. Sorry about that brief tap on the mic. That's how that's my physically shutting down the mic to yell at my dog, who's barking at the neighbor's dog, which is lovely. She, well, I was gonna say she doesn't always do it, but she pretty much does. Okay, so these are all Scarlet Chorus, so I think we're gonna be okay here. Welcome to Lethian's Crossing. Good. Yeah, that map is still small. I mean, it's bigger, but I would like to zoom in. So it's this Sunrise Market. Sword or sheath, I guess a sword. Or, you know, weapon store, Sunset Spire, Old Walls Entrance, Moonrise Falls, Moonrise District, the Tear Smasher. Well, that sounds fun. Can we really just loot stuff here? Always feels weird in RPGs. Merchant Praxis. Good day, my fine friend. Could I interest you in all manners of provisions? There's no telling what may befall you in your travels. Yes? Well, these are some expensive items. A vile tongue. Cool name. Sounds unique. Also poisonous. Poisonous on crit. Poisoned for 8.5 seconds, that is. But you don't know for how much damage, I guess. I was just thinking, what about selling a bunch of regular items? Actually, how about we sell all of this? What is it? Other? But it's all like broken stuff, and so we actually have some more money than I was thinking. Sell it to a merchant. I'm not sure about selling all of these gems. Like, I feel gems can sometimes be used for something. So I guess I want to keep those. So I'm not sure why this scroll is in its separate category now, actually. Didn't notice that before when we were looking for it. Guess we can sell that one because we know it. This is a tier forged one as well. Just not of superior or exquisite quality. This is the normal version. So we actually have quite some items. Staff of Storm's Heart, Boreal Frost. See, at this point I'm not entirely sure what I should really... So this weapon, one-handed, armor penetration 4, guarded strikes. But it's a one-handed weapon, it's not dual wield. Dual wielding with spears would be a little difficult, no matter what. Lance is slightly longer than regulation spears. Maybe we want to keep that one. I guess we can get rid of the bronze javelin. Oh, we have so much of this, just this regular stuff. We actually have a lot of money. Does he actually have enough money? I guess he just has infinite. Cool, so we have 45. Still can't afford like Vile Tongue. But for now I also wouldn't necessarily know like what is a good weapon. I feel like I don't know the weapon system as much as I should. But okay, we've sold some junk. Merchant Basilla. A lot of merchants. Yes, this is more of the stuff I was hoping for. We already know this. We know this. Excellent. Lesser healing potions. Yes, please. Oh, well, there's full-on healing potions. Heals 40% health. Or greater ones. For 7. Jeez. They do get expensive, don't they? But considering these enemies are hitting for like 60, 70 each, and you can get multiple of them. Yeah. I see how you might start to need like bigger potions already. So he has an exquisite, uniquely named bow. So what makes this bow so good? Because the damage seems very low. Fires multiple projectiles. Well, how many? Because the damage 6 to 8 seems Well, it's pierce damage, so that's actually... I guess maybe that's why it's good? Just wonder how many it fires. Okay, so for example, the Tiersman Hunting Bow, which is too expensive. We don't have the money for it. 16 to 18 pierce. So what does she have? 14 to 16 pierce. Like it doesn't seem like the difference is that big to me. So how big of a difference is this javelin? So this to me seems a fair bit of difference. Because this is 4 more armor penetration and more damage, period. And the recovery is half a second more, which, you know, I don't know. Again, I'm not sure if it's worth it to even upgrade something like that for ourselves. So this is just 11 to 15 years. And she has, yeah, 10 to 14. I don't think it's that much worse. Though 9 to 11, yeah, that's definitely a difference. I guess all of these like throwing weapons, they are all getting like armor penetration. I'm surprised that even like a throwing dagger has armor penetration, because a bow I can understand. If it's a strong bow, it has a lot of force it generates. That way it makes sense to me. But a throwing dagger, there's no way you can throw it so hard. But okay. So this bronze dagger seems in every single way better than Gutseeker. That's what I was thinking, actually. I just remembered in the first merchant that, oh right, there was this this dagger I picked up. It also pretty much seems better than the... No, it's more of an offhand weapon. So you replace Gutseeker. Sell that. Excellent. I think we've not screwed up, so let's save. Harkiand Bronze. Greetings and salutations. The jolly merchant greets you with a smile and a clap on the shoulder. And welcome to Lethian's Crossing, home of the best merchant in the entirety of the tiers. He pauses and winks. That would be me. Sure. Well, you do have multiple... Ooh. Sigil of Fire of Rooting. This scroll contains a magical accent which adds a rooted affliction to a force or atrophy spell. Or bleeding. A bleeding affliction seems really good. Probably also the most expensive, no? No, it's actually the cheapest. Because Sigil of Fire we already know. A Manteau of Mirrors. See, now this is all getting exciting. Cool. Cool loot. I like reading about this stuff and what's possible with it. So an additional 10% will defense. So if you have high will, that might actually add a couple of points. Which also seems very good. Reflect 20% of incoming hostile spells back. Cool ability. Rounding Garbs. Plus 10 armor. Shock. Stolen. Lightning avoidance. Okay. I'm wondering if like these sigils... I think I want to just buy that one. Of bleeding. Because the prices for lesser healing potions and healing potions, they don't seem to differ between different vendors. So I guess these are just kind of set. This is off rogues. Or the, you know, heal wraps of rogues for more subterfuge. But I think we have a decent amount of skills in that anyway already. So do I want to splurge on routing of force or atrophy spells? Our force spell is what? How about we just buy this for now? And then I will check what our force spells are. Cool. Because I want to say our force spell, Sigil of Evolution, force, we don't use force. Sigil of Guarded Forms. So we can use recovery, duration, or range. Okay, so again. This would add a rooting affliction to force or atrophy. Oh, we don't have any atrophy yet. So to a force spell, I guess it would have to be distant, so it's, you know... So we can make it bleed. We can make anything do bleed damage. That's pretty cool. So we can make things be rooted, but I feel most of the time, you know, melee will get in melee range anyway. That's not a huge problem. And adding, if you're already trying to freeze them, rooting them in place doesn't do much, because if you move away, they're still going to get their disengagement attack. So I think rooting for now doesn't seem worth it. Though then again, if you go really smart about it and you have some of these guys with big hammers walking towards you, if you can root them, but then it's only for a couple of seconds. So again, not sure it's worth it. I think all of our abilities were pretty much at like 75. Ooh, Sigil of Bleeding is plus 25. Wow. So I think you don't get to cast any of it. But you can do a Searing Palm with bleeding. That just seems so messed up. So do we want to make this... he needs 2 more lore. That's upsetting. So I think this damage of this is really not so much. So how would we instead do bleeding on that? Ours is 60. Wait, so this adds 2 seconds of mage fire versus one lore off. Okay, well that's the way it is, I guess. We have Graven, Rip Throat, and Droop Eye. Oh man, oh the names. This is the Sword or Sheath. Let's go in. We're exploring. Also one of the things with these types of RPGs, isn't it? You just get to a town and you just spend like 4 hours in the town just seeing what's around and talking to merchants, and I guess we're just robbing. It's fine. Hello, Avarista. Well, hello, gorgeous. The beautiful brown-haired woman calls out to you. My name is Avarista, and I'm ready to show you pleasures you've never seen before. She briefly stops dancing and presses up against you. You'll never want to leave. I'm just expecting... I'll just come back later. Could be like pickpocketing or something. So, who's this half-mast troll, or whatever he is? The rough-looking beastman grunts at you. Although it seems to have been recently brushed, his fur is matted in clumps, and he occasionally scratches himself, gingerly sniffing his claw when he finishes. The small loincloth around his waist does little to cover him, and your gaze moves of its own accord to stare at what's between its legs. He smiles. Human-like half-mast? How much do you charge for your services? 25 rings per night. How about no? Seems sketchy. How about you talk to the owner just to get some background, I guess. Welcome to the Sword or Sheath, traveler. A robust, ruddy-faced man at the door greets you warmly. Please come in and get a load off. I'm the master of this wonderful establishment, and trust me on this one. The pleasure will be all yours. Balin is the name, but all of my friends call me Bay. Would you like to be my friend? He drops his hand when he sees your face and stands up straight, only to immediately bow to you as formally as he can. Fatebinder, what an immense pleasure it is to have you visit the Sword or Sheath. How can I be of service? So what about Conquest? What's this? Or rather, how can my wonderful selection of entertainers be of service to you? He makes a sweeping gesture, drawing attention to the various men and women and one beastman, entertaining the happy patrons in the establishment. Tell me more about the Sword or Sheath. Now, if anyone knows about this establishment, it would be you, Fatebinder, Balin exclaims. If not for your intervention during the Brotherhood's occupation of the crossing, we wouldn't even exist. He smiles and winks. Granted, I like to think we have improved conditions a little past conscripted prostitution. Now all of my entertainers set their own prices and I take a cut. It's good for us both. Okay, well, perhaps another time. I'm just wondering if we can run past a couple of more stores. Or are they talking about having their turn? They're forge bound. I guess he's being blackmailed. Fatebinder, again, everybody recognizes immediately. Fatebinder, I need your help. These chorus fools are dominating the brothel workers' time, and I can't get the stud of my choice because he's always occupied. My work isn't getting done. Fix it, please. So let me get this straight. You want me to help you have sex? If you want to be crass, then yes, that's exactly what I'm asking you to do. The two chorus members let out a low snicker, and Gravin turns on them. Oh, shut up. This is also terribly amusing to you, but I know you're doing it on purpose. No, you've got it all wrong, Gravin. Ripthroat and I aren't laughing, we're trying to keep from crying. The situation is absolutely terrible, isn't it, Ripthroat? It's the worst, Drupai. I can't think of something sadder than this. You'll get yours, just wait and see. This abjuration will show that I'm in the right here. Sure, I will abdicate this issue, but if you ask for my decision, you must all agree to abide by it. Of course I do. I know I have the right on my side, and so it will be vindicated. I will obey your demands. Technically, your statement did not do sufficiently fulfill the requirement of my request. Ripthroat stares at you with an expression devoid of understanding. Drupai hits her on the back of the head. Say you'll abide by its decision, fool. Ripthroat nods. Oh, she faces up and stands straight. You'll abide by his decision, fool. Oh my god. Drupai hits her again. That's the best you're going to get out of her, Fatebinder. I swear she'll obey. So, to Gravin, state your case. I need to relax in a very specific way, and there's only one person who can do that for me. It's going to be the beast one, isn't it? These Scarlet Cretins are always using him, and I don't get any time. I know they're doing it on purpose. Normally I'd say I'd be willing to share, but their behavior is deplorable. I want exclusive use at their expense. Tell them they can't use him anymore. Did you just tell me how to rule? Raven pales at your words. No, Fatebinder, I would never do that. My mind is not in the right place. Without the ability to relax properly, I can't do anything right. So, Drupai, what do you have to say in your defense? With all due respect, Fatebinder, if we have the money and time, there's nothing wrong with what we're doing. You may not like it, but we aren't breaking any laws. Are you specifically targeting Graven? Of course we are. Ripthroat starts to laugh and Droop Eye punches her in the side. Ripthroat looks confused and steps away from Droop Eye a little. Of course we aren't, is what my friend here is meant to say. We wouldn't be caught dead doing something so callous, so heartless. So funny. Ripthroat laughs again and sidesteps another punch from Droop Eye. I'm ready to decide. You're dominating the entertainment. I need to properly relax and intentionally tormenting me. I should be barred from partaking in any activities with that performer. No. We just deny all three of them. That's one way of doing it. Kind of like the fits in with the world, like kind of screws over everyone. Yeah, let's just do that. Just fuck with people. None of you are allowed to use that performer again. He's off limits to all three. Fatebinder, no, how can you do this? Don't rule that way, please. At least when I was fighting these fools, there was a chance for me to hire him. Now I'll never be able to relax again. Gravin, you promised to accept what the Fatebinder decreed. He laughs and elbows Ripthroat in the side. Looks like you'll have to find a new way to relax. But Graven protests again and then deflates. Fine, I said I would accept the decision and I will. If this is the type of abdication we can expect from the Fatebinders, it's no wonder the world is in the state it is. What a ridiculous side quest. Then we cross the bridge, because I assume there's some more merchants on this side. And then we go into the, what is it, this one. Old Walls entrance. Derek and Flick. Also having some sort of dispute. So what do you have? Warrior's Girdle of Warriors. Plus 10 athletics. Okay. Merchant Bracers. Normal items. Juggler's Gloves. So what? Plus 10 ranged accuracy. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So Merchant Tunic. Just deflection 3. Just wonder why you would buy that. A nobleman's hat. Do we at some point have to like dress up like a merchant or show off that we're rich to be allowed into some place? That's all I'm thinking with these items. Bronze dagger. Some more loot to sell. And they seem to have some sort of sparring match here. They're all just bored and nobody to interact with. Frequency of rains, all the bridges and ramps can be raised. Okay. Good to know.
Can't do that.
More loot. Oh, a secret.
You see that?
Well, it's not much.
Right.
Tenya, Halfscar, and Wenhaver. So 3 different factions are fighting. Lethian Crossing, okay. So who's Biotis? Welcome, friend. The merchant cries out to you, his belt jingling with rings. He waves his arms about in a dramatic presentation of his wares. What brings you to my humble trading post? Have a certain something in your mind, or just browsing? Sure. We're just browsing, actually. Sigil of Volcanic Weapon, which causes a material force spell to grant burning strikes that damage targets in a line. Sounds intriguing, and we can afford it, so I guess we just do it. An accessory of plus 10 parry actually seems pretty good. But of course we can't afford it, so it can seem good all at once. Forge-bound hammer, crushing damage, yep. That's quite some recovery on these big weapons, but a lot of damage. A lot of damage. That's how you get these big numbers. A good iron javelin, this. A lot of armor penetration, a lot of pierce damage. So for now, let's just buy the accent, though I don't think we have any spells for it. At least I don't think so. Because it's a volcanic force, so we don't have that. Wait, wasn't this lit up? No, it wasn't. I'm just thinking things. Thinking I'm seeing things. Let's quickly go into the store. I'm assuming this is a store. Tyrannt is master of casting, of tempering. Do we really just want to forge-bound mastersmith and apprentice? Can we really just go in here and just unlock stuff? Plans for headhunter. Okay. New spire forge plan. And a forge-bound hammer. Okay. Apparently it's all okay to just walk in and open a bunch of stuff that is locked. Nobody seems to mind. Volantis surveys the room with an air of superiority. He addresses you without making eye contact. Is there something you want? Is there a problem? What do you do here? He keeps things running smoothly. Upkeep, mostly. He smiles coyly. I am also second in command to Lohara, so in case anything ever happens to her, I'm here to take charge. Is there a problem? His eyes carefully watch Lohara as he answers you. Yes, but these are forge-bound matters. Nothing that concerns the High Court of Tunon, I can assure you. Okay, well, let's talk to Lohara. A muscular woman stands upright from her forge and turns to look at you. The light of the fire playing across her face, making her eyes dance dangerously. A toothy smile breaks across her mouth, the only bright spot on her soot-stained face. Do you kill with your left hand or your right hand? She rubs blackened palms together, eyeing you expectantly. Normally, I can tell at a glance, but you're a little harder to read. Well, that is actually because I use both, because I use spells. Is that how they say hello in your hometown? Do you also answer questions with questions? She flashes more pearly teeth and chuckles softly to herself. It's a simple question, child. When you swing a tool to end another's life, which hand do you use? Why do you want to know? The gauntlet is the hardest piece of the panoply. Panoply? I don't know this word. And the most rewarding to work. So many scales of so many different sizes. Then there's the rivets. She slides her thumb and fingers together, shedding flecks of soot and iron dust. I imagine you see a lot of battle in your line of work. One gauntlet is invariably going to wear out before the other. My mind is always thinking of what they will need to repair first. It's as simple as that. So let's say right. Noted. She clears her throat and wipes her blackened hands on the canvas of her smock. I'm Lohara, Master of the Tempering and Forge Master of Lethian's Crossing. My tasks exceed the hours left in the day, but there is no harm in pausing my work if it means speaking with the Fate Binder. I want to thank you personally for the help you gave to the Forgebound when you visited the crossing before. The workers you provided us were a great boon. We're grateful to you for it. Tell me about the Forgebound, I guess. For centuries, my guild has sought the union of magical and manual perfection. While others concern themselves with the arcane for the sake of inordinate power, we study it to overcome the traditional limits of our arts and crafts. The forge is our dominant concentration of study, but not all Forgebound work metal. Some are weavers, carpenters, and one of our other members fancies himself a chef. Okay. So what can you tell me about the wise and mighty Kairos has been kind to our guild. He offered to put our weapons and armor in the hands of those who would change the world. A broad smile overcomes her face. And he has been true to his word. Forgebound iron has trampled the tears, and all that oppose Kairos' forces rest their heads on forgebound spears. Can you make me something magical? What can you tell me about the Forgebound Master? Zdenya is the best leader I've had the pleasure of working under. She guides the Forgebound with a steady yet stern hand, guaranteeing all of the work is of the utmost quality and peerless in every regard. I am Zdenya's second, which is why I am the Forge Master for Lethian Crossing. She points at Ulantis. He is my second, should anything happen to me. I haven't worked with him long, so I don't know much about him or the true long-lasting quality of his work. But he was appointed by Zdenya, so he must be good at what he does. Okay. How exactly does your magic help you make things? Our most important rituals bind the crafter, tools, and materials into one entity? She cracks a nervous smile. Close enough. In my own work, the Forgebind draws the whole of my senses to the edge of the blade I'm tempering. I can see the tiniest notch or touch my finger to the blade and feel the razor sharpness without breaking my skin. Such perfect execution of art has its cost, of course. Once heart and lungs become linked to flame and hammer, a dropped hammer could lead to a stopped heart. Most of our members die in the throes of their work, killed by a distraction or simple error. She blushes. We lose a lot of apprentices. So can you make me something magical? No, she smiles and shakes her head. But almost everyone asks. Relics of arcane power must grow into themselves. They are never made from nothing. She points her finger in the air and smiles, but what I can do is use my magic to swing my hammer with perfect precision or work in cantrip to handle molten metal with my bare hands. Let's speak of something else. Are you well? You look weary. Ecstatic. Her voice is matter of fact and a smile creeps in. The ritual of the forge links heart to hammer. My blood beats only when I strike my ingot, and my forge runs too hot if my breath becomes too hurried. And the bond is both fatiguing and exhilarating. Okay, fascinating, because we already kind of heard that. Leave, I must be going. Or can you make something for me? Just something normal? Can? Most certainly. Will? Well, Kairos invented queues for a reason. I have every Ironwalker and every Scarlet Chorus ringleader sending me bribes and flattery in hopes that I'll work off schedule and make them something this or one of a kind that. Her mouth moves as if to speak, but she falls silent, folding her arms. Yeah, I think I like that response. Sorry, I did not realize the request was so thoughtless. My apologies. I get unreasonable demands every day, but it's not the volume, it's the purpose. She lowers her voice to a near whisper and steps closer to you. I do resent that Kairos' demands reduce our work to mere quotas. I should be allowed to customize my work for every soldier. Only apprentices have anything to learn from making the same sized helmet again and again and again? Forget I asked. I must be going now. Okay, I think it's going to be good to be introduced to this person. Lohara? I'm pretty sure we'll run into Lohara again. I guess let's deal with this dispute that's just outside the store between 3 different factions. See what sort of shenanigans we can get up to. This town takes a while to load, actually, compared to everywhere else. Oh, there's one more door up here. Moonrise District. Wonder whose house it is then. Well, actually there's a house in here too. Woof, so many doors, so many places. Maybe this set we end right before the old walls. Because all of this just is taking a while. Phaedra and Dea. A bright-faced woman greets you as you approach. Welcome to Lethian's Crossing, Wanderer. My name is Phaedra, and this is my beautiful wife Dea. She indicates the stone-faced blonde woman standing next to her, who holds up her hand in a quick greeting. What brings you to town? Is there anything I can help you with? What can you tell me about Lethian's Crossing? I've lived here most of my life, but honestly, I'm not sure there's much to say. She looks contemplative. We're a center for trade and a waypoint for travelers. The walls are a little scary, but you get used to them over time. What about you, dear? Dea shrugs, her expression never changing. What's there to say? The town is alright, but living under the thumb of an occupying force makes it hard to truly relax. Phaedra puts her hand on Dea's shoulder and Dea sighs. You haven't always lived here? Several years before Kairos' invasion, I moved away from Lethian's Crossing. Being the granddaughter of Lethian came with a responsibility I wasn't ready for. I met Dea in the Bastard City and decided to stay for a while. We were living in the Bastard City when we heard about Kairos' forces moving to the Tiers, so we took that as our motivation to move. She laughs. And I think we got out of there at just the right time. We traveled a bit with a couple of caravans, but nothing really seemed like home until I returned to Lethian's Crossing. You never realize how much you can miss a place until you've been away for a while. She wraps her arms around Dea and squeezes. But I could live anywhere as long as I have this one with me. It's true that trade hasn't been as vibrant here recently, but I'm sure it's simply a temporary setback. The merchants will sing and dance for you, trying to convince you their suppliers are unaffected, but everyone is feeling it. You're Lethian's granddaughter? One of many, I suspect, but I'm the only one anyone knows about. And before you ask, no, Aldian is not my father. Maybe you haven't heard, but my grandmother wasn't exactly the settling down type. Okay, thank you for your time. Anytime, traveler, Phaedra says happily. If you need anything else, just let me know. What pleasant, nice people.
Got it.
And meanwhile, we're just gonna, steal from you. Bronze Dao sword. Okay. I'm just wondering, it seems like one of these games where all of these characters which are named, they have to be important in some sort of way. They have to be involved in some sort of quest line, right? So I'm thinking I just go up into the house that's just up here. Well, actually we can go up even higher. Let's just hoard. Let's see. Settler and a settler. The wall appears to have been damaged years ago, but was never properly repaired.
Can't do.
So we're just gonna steal from the poor? Great. A great bow. And a light leather gauntlet with precision and deflection. Well, stealing from the poor, which have really expensive bows and leather gloves laying around for some reason. RPGs are a little weird sometimes, you know? Like this whole just barging in somewhere and just taking people's stuff out in the open, or you know, unlocking, like in the forge, just unlocking all of these dressers just like that. Really not cool. What do we compare to this one? So the great bow does just more damage and more armor penetration. Okay. It's just straight up better. Same with these leather gauntlets. 2% deflection, 2% precision. Oh, that's it actually. I guess this can also just go away like that. That's quick save.
On it.
Oh, we should do this conflict here. Xenia. Oh good. Now that the Fatebinder's here, are all of these people literally just like everybody knows in a like the surrounding around the town like knows when you're approaching? Or how does this work? Maybe I can get an ounce of satisfaction. What seems to be the problem? I caught this thief pawing through my wares, but this chorus rat won't let me report her. By all rights, she should be in chains, not conscripted into some gang. What if she comes back and decides to shake down my business, this time with the law on her side? I can't stand by and let that happen. Rubbish. My gang needs recruits, especially ones who are quick with their hands. We'll use little Wenhaver here to pick locks, pry apart traps, and, well, let's just say nothing's off the table. Chances are good she'll lose some fingers before the fortnight is over anyhow. I'll hear both sides of the story, but understand that my word on the matter is law. If it gets the attention of the court, I don't see how I could refuse. Have on, Fatebinder. I'll accept my word on the matter. What did Wenhaver steal? Forge-bound weapons and supplies. My things started to go missing weeks ago, but today I got the wind that the little wretch had tried to fence my goods to another honest merchant. There's no telling how much she pocketed away or handed off elsewhere. She stole forge-bound weapons? Not hammers or axes, she isn't that good. Little things here and there, daggers, iron scrap and the like. So why didn't you report the suspicion of theft sooner? Also, you should be taking stock of what you have and know when stuff goes missing. I wanted to be sure before I wasted anyone's time with baseless accusations. Until I caught her in the act, there was always a chance, a doubt in my mind that a colleague was borrowing supplies and I had to imagine the whole thing. That'll show me, it's a sorry day when I'm punished for respecting due process. Okay, let me ask something else. To Hofskar, what makes you think Wenhaver would make a good conscript? Full honesty, I've been watching the little thief stealing from the Forge-bound for weeks. I always had my eye on her for some conscription. Call this a test, and she passed it. Hofskar nods with pride. Keen for a common settler, this one. Scarlet Fury material. Why didn't you stop Wenhaver when you discovered her crime? Like I said, I wanted to see how capable she was, and if she could keep up the momentum. Did pretty well for an inexperienced little shit, didn't you, Wen? She aims a hard jab at the potential recruit. How? She nurses her arm. Thank you? I figured if she was as good at her work as she seemed, we could assign her to a gang right away. As it happens, I was on my way to make an offer, but Xenia got to her first. Do you make a habit of conscripting thieves? We make a habit of conscripting survivors, and someone who knows how to steal for their livelihood is a valued addition to any gang. We don't always need thieves, but we always need survivors. Okay, so let's talk to Wenhaver. So why were you stealing from the Forgebound? She aims a hard glare at you, but it evens out with apprehension. I lost everything in the conquest of Haven. Family, friends, home. All that I ever was got trampled by one army, then another. Stealing was the only way to survive, and stealing from the Forgebound, well, you can just call it justice if you want. Fool, the items you stole were worth 10 times what you tried to sell them for. Just because I'm a settler doesn't make me a savvy merchant. I needed to eat, not turn a profit. Wenhaver shakes her head. Selling Forgebound goods for cheap also made people less likely to turn me in. I guess you could call that a professional move. Did you ever sell to the Scarlet Chorus? Well, sure. I even sold to Hofscar once or twice. The Chorus aren't what you'd call disciplined. You bought our goods even though you knew they were stolen? Xenia looks at Hofscar. For research purposes only. I had to inspect the goods to confirm that Wenhaver was filching from the Forgebound. So, did you ever try to get an honest job, Wenhaver? Yeah, once, with her, she pointed at Xenia. I told her I was willing to do any menial task, but the hag turned me away without any consideration. And produced a most competent and desperate new recruit for my gang. Thank you, Xenia. Hofscar offers a mockery of a bow. Shut up, Scar. I admit that I didn't think Wenhaver would be able to keep up with the workload, so I told her to move on. That's no invitation to steal from me, so I don't see how it's relevant. I've heard enough. Wenhaver, I don't know which is worse, losing a hand to the town guard or getting tossed into the front lines. Either way, I suppose I'm at your mercy. Wenhaver looks at you with a desperate plea. Let's see. In accordance with the laws of Kairos, Wenhaver will face punishment for stealing from the Forgebound. That seems about right. Wenhaver will join Hofscar's gang, trained as a Scarlet Fury. Xenia, as punishment for putting Wenhaver into this impossible position, I sentence you for season... What? No, why would we do that? I like the Forgebound people. Menial labor for the Forgebound until she works off her debt, and then she will go to Hofscar for training. Everyone here is banished from Haven. So no one will be punished. No. Yeah, I think I like just the approach of, you'll face punishment for stealing. I knew you'd make the right call. She turns to Wenhaver wearing an imperious expression. You have to figure out another way to put food on the table, little girl. Whichever hand you choose to keep, make sure it's an earner. Forgebound favor ability. Ignore the elements. So what's that? Passive +2 armor for fire, shock, and frost. Okay, I'll take it. So we can get elemental shield as well. Allied target +20 armor for elements. Okay, seems pretty powerful. Wait, no, we don't. We actually want to be here. I wanted to move up here, which actually is worse. Or is not worse, it's just I wanted to go down here because that's, I think, where we were told to go, actually. So one more house. Huh. So settler and settler. Raven Shawl of Rogues, plus 10 subterfuge. Wonder what slot that is. I guess accessory? It is an accessory. So this gives us haste, which is health regen, which I think health regen actually should go on him. And I guess we will have a shawl that I don't think I can see. No, I guess you don't see accessories. Considering you have most health, you get 1% regen every 6 seconds. Excellent. Walking in these houses, getting expensive items and magic items seems well worth it. Maybe it's one of these games where that will suddenly bite you in the ass, of course. Could very well be. Like, we'll be judged for it. Which would be fair. Oh, I thought actually there was an entrance up here as well, and this would go down. But apparently not. Some more gems. We've not gone in all the other buildings yet. How many more are there? Yeah, we've not gone through this entire part. Let's quickly do it, because it really seems worth it to go in these buildings. Kalea and Callian. Greetings. Sorry, I'm not interested in whatever you're selling. Sure. Bronze throwing knives. They seem better. More accurate, more DPS in general. But less armor penetration. And I guess armor penetration is actually pretty important. Oh, I should actually compare how that is compared to his Lantry's Quill. Has 8 to 9. Yeah, this is a lot better than his. Actually, we should totally check for a shield for him. No? Yeah, he could have been carrying a shield this entire time. Oh well. I was thinking that earlier at some point and then I forgot. Don't mind me. I'm not very good at playing games. I just, I do stuff and then sometimes I progress in some fashion. Well, I guess let's keep looting stuff. Fruit. I wonder if one of these doors is one we can go in. Doesn't really seem like it. Okay, well, I guess that's it. During clear mornings, the western waterfall reflects the rising sun in a beautiful display of color. Well, I guess we just go in then. Okay, so that took us what, about an hour to go through this this town? Quick save. Dark and menacing, dungeon-like. Not gives me a very Elder Scrolls vibe. I'm not sure why. Okay, that's huge. Gonna be full of traps? Can't be, right? It's in the middle of these floor stones have been broken recently. Bits of metal nearby would suggest it's the result of careless soldiers. Okay. So a topaz just laying there. What's this? Interesting rune. Take a charcoal rubbing, because we have enough lore. Make a charcoal rubbing of the relief's design, or the relief shape, to help discern the rune's design. Pressing charcoal to parchment, you capture a blurry but proportionate image of the ancient relief. With enough collected imprints, it may be possible to reconstruct the original shape of the rune. As you work, Lantry hovers near. See how the pattern looks broken along two edges? I think there's more to the engraving than what's here. Finish tracing, then we'll look for more. Agreed. If we collect enough sketches and imprints, we could no doubt reconstruct the original image in its entirety. Examine the mysterious rubbing. So do we have an item for this? Or how does this work? Oh, that's a plan. Still don't know what this scroll is. It doesn't do anything. Is this it? Incomplete charcoal rubbing. Okay. Determine the significance of the rubbing. Okay. Good question. Good question. Our quest. A portion of an unknown sigil has been recorded on this scroll. The charcoal imprint is rough and incomplete, leaving the full design a mystery for now. Excuse me, I'm just gonna add a little bit of drink. Don't think you can actually hear that, but just in case. If you just hear liquid pouring, it's like, what? Is this from the video? What? Really? It is. I just keep a big carafe of water. It's always good to have. So what's this? Merchant braces. Tyrannt's leaf. Okay. And chalcedony? Don't have one of those
Good
before.
thing I keep a torsion wrench handy.
A whetstone and staggering burn. So I wonder if there is an equivalent one on the other side. The door creates a near-perfect seal with the surrounding walls. Along its surface, you see several chips and shallow gouges from failed attempts to force it open. There's nothing to interact with on its panels, and you surmise that it was never meant to be opened from this side. Well, I imagine if we have two sorts of imprints, then it would be. So, we have a spire that an entire town is built around. Nobody's been able to open it, and there's just some camping supplies and healing potions in the wall. How does that happen? Maximum number of camping supplies, okay. Does that mean we should just camp right here? Sure. Let's just camp right here and then take it from the wall. that just feels so stupid. Okay. Bronze great axe. Two-handed. Well. Oh, didn't realize this was a separate room.
My mother always told me to stay away from spires. Not that I ever listened.
Oh, it looks like a puzzle. Chamber immediately reminds you of Ascension Hall. An intricate rune running along the floor can only mean one thing. You stand at the feet of a great spire. Each step you take echoes across a great distance. As you gaze upward, the sage-colored walls quickly give way to unending blackness. The rune in the center of the floor is inactive, and the silence of the hall offers no clues as to its use or function. You feel a slight tug in your chest, a faint echo of the energy that enveloped you at Vendurin's Well. Hold a moment. Yeah, hold a moment. I'm getting a very dry throat, and every time I record this and it goes over like an hour, hour and a half, I just, I just get a dry throat. There's a lot of text in this. Landry bellowed the comment louder than needed, smiling as he hears his voice echo through the massive chamber. If my sense of direction is at all reasonable, we're standing below the spire. Well, no shit. What do you know of the spires? Landry raises an eyebrow. About as much as you, I'm afraid. Until our time at Vendrian's Well, I didn't realize there were ways to access the upper reaches. Speaking of which, I'm certain there's a way to access the top of the spire as well. Of this spire. Let's keep our eyes out for sigils or glyphs nearby. What do you recommend? Landry points at the pattern on the floor. I'd start with the grooves and stones on the floor over there. It's like the spire at the Vendrian's Well. Whomever built this created a mystical conduit to the top. And I think it very, very unlikely that the pattern is purely decorative. Let's press on.
Okay. Any bets on which sigil unleashes more scourges?
An interesting rune. Let's make a rubbing. Pressing charcoal to parchment, he kept a blurry but proportionate image. Though the drawn rune remains incomplete, it seems likely that the completed design is symmetrical in nature. Should the need arise, you could reasonably guess its original shape. I believe this is something to do with the symbol on the floor of the spire. An addendum has been added, okay. Okay, so it's kind of a pattern like that. Can we just keep this open? So I'm just looking. Would this be like this? Yeah, I think I can see. No, how about we do it with one person? So this would be here. Oh, do we have to go like one by one to draw it? Okay, I think we... Yeah, that won't connect that way. But this doesn't quite curve that way, does it? Like this. Or am I seeing it like, is it like tilted? So I'm seeing this corner being over here. Actually, I was thinking it was this one. But then that line doesn't seem to match. Can I just... I think this is a reset button. Yes. Okay, so you can actually see the circle here. Okay, so you can see the circle there. What has the sharp edges? Like this does. Because I feel this round corner has to be this. Like it's this maybe? Let's try. But it doesn't work. Because again, this corner would have to go directly up there. Which would be this. Well, maybe. Maybe this works like this. Yeah, then it would be like this. This connects to that. You connect to that. Then you connect there. Wouldn't that be it? To me, this kind of looks like that shape. These grooves in the floor are inlaid with a dim incandescent material that glimmers upon closer inspection. They appear to intersect at various angles, forming a myriad of potential shapes, similar to the rubbing you found. I wonder if this is just a reset. It is just a reset. Okay, so what did I do wrong there? Is it the other way around? I don't think so. Can it be that it's just like these? It doesn't extend all the way to the outer end. I guess that makes sense, maybe? Let's quickly try this. Because this is too simple, right? And then I guess there is a circle here as well. Like there are some lines, but I think they're not attached there. Boom, we did it. Nobody comments, nothing. Okay, give me 1 second. Just getting some messages. Which are a little actionable. So, how about we finish this one here, and next time we go up to the top of the spire, because last time there was a lot of dialogue around the spire, and I'm just wondering if it opens up like fast travel options, or you know, we can also start recruiting people here at this spire, or we claim ownership of it, or then we go down into this dungeon or something at the bottom of it with this one door that doesn't open. If it's something related to that, like I think this might be a whole huge side quest, or it's all part of the main quest. I really don't know, but I think this is really cool. So how about we do that next time, considering this has already been like 2 hours. So pretty lengthy. All of these are pretty lengthy. This is not a game you like play for 30 minutes for sure. But I'm loving it. I'm very interested, and I'm really liking the items so far. We're a little worried about all of the enemies just doing like 60-70 damage each with all of these big hammers, you know. Maybe it is a thing where we have to start using more two-handed weapons. I don't know. Not sure how that goes with Verse. I think she's just pure dual wield, so. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure we'll make our way through. I'm sure we will. So I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I have, because I'm loving this. Very curious where this all goes. And, well, I hope if you're watching now, then I'll just say see you at the next video. Have a good day, everyone. It feels weird to end like that. It's so weird, the habits you get into. All right. See you guys.